Hello Tarot people, Marcus Fazy here with the Tarot card of the day, which is the Temperance card. Now, take a look at this imagery with this angelic figure dressed in white. 1 foot on the earth, 1 foot in the waters. She's juggling this pure water of consciousness between one side of herself and the other, between the dualities that she sees and feels inside of herself still. She has the image of the sun on her forehead with this strong halo, and then there's a strong sun rising in the background over the hills with a path heading towards it. So there's a lot of imagery here. There's a lot of symbolism which is talking about what the name of the card talks about: temperance, balance, the middle path. It's not between one extreme and the other, but allowing yourself to flow equally between one side and the other, allowing yourself to be as strongly in the world, the physical world, as in the non-physical world, to be connected to your conscious ideas and the awareness of what you are awake to inside of your mind and your emotions and your feelings, as well as to be aware of what's going on the inside and what is the bubbling source of subconscious, from where a lot of our conscious mind and actions come from. So this is a card which asks us to step back. It asks us to get a clear, objective picture of the whole story. It asks us to be the observer. It asks us to go inside and really be inquisitive about what's really taking place in our lives. So if if there's some misunderstanding, or if there's some conflict, or if there's some confusion in our life in one way or another, this card is asking us to go inside and really be honest, and asking ourselves to be clear about where these stories are coming from, what the lessons are, because this card shows this really clear pathway towards the spirit, towards the light. This card is number 14 in the Major Arcana deck, which is sandwiched in between death and the devil. So we've gone through a great transformation. We've come away with a higher realization, a higher level of clarity, where we are able to balance the extremes in our life, where we are able to accept the darker stories and the lighter stories equally, where we are able to not be pulled towards one extreme or the other. And this is the famous middle path of the Buddha, who talks about, the strings of the lute not being so too tight or not being too loose. Otherwise, the sound that we play in our life as we express ourselves through our actions is not going to be our true sound. It's about keeping this balance between one extreme and the other, and juggling our life so that we are equally focused on the inside as we are on the outside. So we have a certain amount of self-awareness, recognizing that we are the co-creators of this environment. And with that awareness, we have gained greater clarity about what's taking place in our life on the outside. In this card, there's, the sun imagery is like, okay, we get a vision of where we are going and what we're doing. So it's a great time when this card comes up to sit down and journal and ask yourself, what am I really going for? Where am I really heading again? What's my life all about? Do I have what's the purpose for me today, right now, right here, in my life in general? Whatever feels more appropriate for you in this moment. When there's this juggling going on and we're pouring our awareness from one side of ourselves inwards, and then the awareness from the inside is pouring outwards into our conscious living world and our life, then there's a lot of inner sharing taking place in this card, which is what allows us to connect to our spirit. So there's this realization that when I'm finding my own inner balance, when I'm at peace with these two extremes in my life, when I'm not desperately seeking something or desperately running from something, but when I'm at peace in my life and really finding this central middle path, then that's when I receive higher guidance. So this card is about receiving and feeling connected to that higher guidance too. So it's a great time when this card comes up to really connect to your inner guidance, to channel, to be your clairvoyant, clairaudient connector to the divine spirit inside of you, and listen to what you really need, listen to what your truth is, listen to what comes up and what rises through the subconscious waters, channeled from one foot into the conscious mind, to the connecting to the earth on the other foot, and how you can create that in and make positive actions according to what guidance you are receiving from within. So I don't know if you relate to all of this, but it's a great time to channel your own inner guidance when this card comes along. It's a great time to practice introspection. It's a great time to just talk with yourself and have an inner dialogue. It's a wonderful time to be connected to what is your more spiritual goals, or your higher goals in life, and your higher truth. On that note, I'll say goodbye and wish you a great day until tomorrow.